Alright guys, welcome back to another Plank and Yap video. If you recall, 2 videos ago, I told you about how powerful your human brain truly is. And this video today of a true crime story showcases just that. By happenstance, this did also take place in New York, just like my last few videos. However, this took place on November 15th, 2004 at approximately 3:20 a.m. in Del Mar, New York. Somebody had quietly entered the home of Peter and Joan Porco. Evidence from the scene showed that there was no forced entry. Whoever came inside knew the house layout and knew the house very well, and they knew exactly where the bedrooms were, where Joan and Peter were dead asleep. Peter Porco was a former General Electric's executive, disciplined, routine-driven, respected in his community. His son, Christopher Porco, was a student at the University of Rochester. It all seemed so picture perfect. However, Christopher, who was in university at the time, was living well beyond his means, and his income could not support him. By late 2004, Christopher was drowning in over $40,000 of credit card debt. If you were joining me for the plank, our plank ends now. Let's continue. Reportedly maxing out multiple credit cards, and he had also forged his father's signature on loan documents from the bank, to which the bank began calling Peter directly, and this is where everything changed. Now, this led Peter to confront his son Christopher. According to legal testimonies, Peter told others he was done enabling him and that he refused to co-sign for any more loans. He refused to send him money and cut him off financially. For Christopher, this wasn't just an embarrassment, it was exposure, forgery charges, academic failure, and total financial collapse were imminent. Investigators later proved that Christopher researched axe attacks, purchased the axe near a college shortly before the murders that he had perfectly and carefully timed. That very night, Christopher got in his car and drove more than 200 miles from Rochester to Del Mar. He parked away from the house to avoid attention, and around 3:30 in the morning, he entered the home and went straight upstairs for his parents. Peter was attacked first.
We're doing the 2-minute plank with me. Your 2-minute plank ends in 3, 2, 1. Let's continue.
His very own son Christopher had struck him at a minimum of 16 times in the head with the axe. The blows shattered his skull and utterly destroyed his frontal lobes and fractured his facial bones completely. Medical experts testified that several blows alone should have been instant fatal death. After finishing off his father, Christopher locked in on his next victim, his own mother, Joan. He then went to Joan's bedroom and struck her 3 times. She survived, critically injured but alive. Believing both parents were dead, Christopher had left the house and drove back to Rochester. He attended class later the next day as everything was normal.
You'll never believe what happened next, and it's the reason why it's still taught in medical and law schools till this day.
At approximately 6:25 in the morning, 3 hours after he had been murdered by his own son, security cameras recorded Peter getting out of bed. Despite the catastrophic brain injuries, he walked into the bathroom, had a shower, shaved himself, even got himself dressed, and then went downstairs, proceeded to make coffee, and packed himself a lunch for the day. He retrieved the newspaper and even walked outside to get the mail. Really quickly, if you're still joining me, the 3-minute plank is over now. Let's finish. Even repositioned the mailbox in an oddly specific act later, cited by neighbors as evidence of severe frontal lobe damage, normal behavior but performed incorrectly. Peter was not conscious in the way that we understand consciousness. You see, his procedural memory habits had burned into him over decades. Essentially, his brain was just doing what it was used to doing from normal hobbies and activities that it did over the years. He was already dead, but his brain was in control. Then at 7:15 in the morning, Peter collapsed and never spoke again. But the story gets much juicier, so this is only a part 1. Tune in for tomorrow's part 2. See you guys tomorrow. Love you. Bye.